Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we've got another special video for you all. And, you could tell that is a little bit different in that, once again, I am here in person. So, for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this mini PC from BOSGAME. And it is a BOSGAME high-performance mini PC. So, this mini PC, like just the box, you can already see it is like the size of an Xbox 360 controller. So that's just the box. But the actual PC itself is probably going to be even smaller. So for this video, we're going to be opening this up, seeing what the mini PC is like. And then, as was with tradition, and because it's a really awesome game, we're going to be seeing how well it runs Halo. And of course, down the road, you'll be seeing a few more experiments with this mini PC as well. It's a pretty cool piece of tech, actually. So I'm going to unbox it now, and then we'll be right back after that, and we'll see how it is. Alright, so while I unbox this BOSGAME Ryzen mini PC, let's go over some of the tech specs of this little device. So the BOSGAME U56 mini PC is powered by a AMD Ryzen 5 5600U processor that's clocked up to 4.2 gigahertz, and that comes with 6 cores and 12 threads, as well as 16 megabytes of L3 cache. As for the GPU, it is powered by a Radeon Vega 8 graphics card, which, it's not RDNA, but the Vega GPUs were pretty good for mobile gaming, much better than Intel graphics in a lot of cases. This particular model came with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM and a 512GB NVMe SSD. And all this comes built in with Wi-Fi 6 as well as a bunch of other features, and it comes with Windows 11. Alright, so while we are setting up Steam and installing MCC and Halo Infinite, let's get an up-close look of the BOSGAME mini PC. So here it is. That is the mini PC. It is very small, and it is very light as well. Like, when I was holding it, I could barely feel its weight. It's very compact and very light. Okay, so everything is fully set up now, and it did take a little bit to set up, actually, because MCC is a huge game to download, and it seems like, I don't know if it was the SSD or the network card, but the download was a little bit slower than I expected. But it wasn't anything too bad, but it's MCC is huge, so it's going to take a while to download anyways, no matter like what you're downloading on. But I thought it would be a little faster, considering it does have Wi-Fi 6 support. But, oh well. It's finally downloaded now, so let's give it a try. So I did set everything to max settings on this. So just to show you, and I'll test on the most demanding game right off the bat, which is Halo 2 Anniversary Campaign. So let's launch it and let's see how it is. Now, while this loads, the first tests we'll be doing will all be in 4K, because this little mini PC is capable of outputting at 4K 60Hz, and has 2 HDMI ports for that as well. So we'll be seeing how well Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 3 runs at 4K resolutions first, and we'll try lower resolutions later. So loading times for this, it's Halo 2 Anniversary, so it takes a while to load, but it does seem pretty average for loading time. Alright, so at max settings, as you can see, yeah, it doesn't quite, I mean, it's kind of playable, but the frame rate is way too low. So I would say for this mini PC, I would not do Halo 2 Anniversary at max settings. Now, classic graphics, look at that, it's pretty perfect. So if you play in classic graphics, go for it. Max everything out. Alright, here we go. We are on Halo 3, and frame rate, it is below 60. So let's see if we can mess around with that. Okay, so let's turn the frame rate down. Let's just dial it down to lock it at 60. Let's put it to original settings. And let's see how Halo 3 is. Alright, I think we've hit like the 30 FPS, maybe 30, a little bit over 30. It's not quite 60, but this is like Xbox 360 levels of
Halo 3 frame rate. So yeah, I mean this is totally playable. This is better than Halo 2 Anniversary actually, at performance settings. So if you don't actually, if you wanted a classic Halo 3 360 experience, this would, I guess, work. Oh, and keep in mind, I am running this all at 4K. So if I were to dial this down to 1080p, I'm sure it'll be perfect, actually. In fact, we'll switch back to H2A in a little bit and see it at 1080p. But yeah, for Halo 3 at 4K, this is running fine, really. Okay, so for this test, we're gonna max everything out again, and we're going to dial the resolution down instead, though. So I'll keep it at 60 FPS, just because this monitor is 60 hertz anyways, I think, if I recall. It might be a little bit higher, but it's probably 60 hertz. So yeah, we'll put it to enhanced, and then resolution. So it's 4K, so we're going to half that, which will bring us to 1080p. And there we go. So there we go. At 1080p, it's perfect. Perfect locked 60 FPS. I'd see no drops at all, no choppiness. Everything is perfect. So this mini PC, you could do, for MCC at least, and probably for a lot of games, you could easily do 1080p, even max or high settings for a lot of games. Because we're at max settings for Halo 3 right now, and it's getting perfect 60 FPS at 1080p. And at 4K, some of the games were playable, especially the older, like, classic mode games like Halo 2. You could do that in 4K 60 on this mini PC, which is pretty impressive. Okay, there you have it. We're at 1080p max settings. It is actually a little bit below 60 FPS, but this is like more like 50 FPS probably. And of course, that is pretty playable. It's not perfect, but again, you don't have to play that max settings. And this is H2A, so it's, the most demanding game possible.
Okay, so in conclusion, this mini PC is a very impressive piece of hardware. Not because it's like super high performance, like i9 12900K RTX 4090 performance. No, because it's really compact and it packs a lot of performance for that kind of size. It's like I said, you don't see many Ryzen mini PCs these days yet compared to Intel mini PCs. And with Intel mini PCs, as you know, their Intel graphics not the greatest yet. So it's really nice to have something with AMD graphics in it. More dedicated GPU. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty nice mini PC, and I'd definitely like to see more Ryzen mini PCs in the future. They're starting to get a lot more now, but it's still predominantly Intel from what I've seen out there. But they're starting to get more, and this particular example, this particular piece of hardware from BOSGAME, is a very nice example of what AMD mini PCs can be like. So hopefully you guys found this video to be informative and interesting, and if you did, then as always, hopefully you enjoyed this video. But aside from that, I will see you all in the next video, and that's it for this little review. Bye guys.